Hi and welcome to oceanai. Today doing a market update on the US indices and the ASX, Nikkei and the Hong Kong as well, because we're at hit some pretty critical levels in a lot of these things overnight with the Fed in there with the interest rates. So we need to have a look at them in a bit of detail and figure out where we're going and where we can get into them. So firstly with the S&P here. We've finally got up to that level we're looking at, that 40-30 level. If we look at the S&P cash, been talking about it for a few weeks, getting up and closing this gap here. So now we've done that, and we've hit the ABCD there as well. So now looking for a pullback. Go back to the yeah. So now with the S&P on the CFD market here. So if we look at this being a high, and it could be a major high, we could be with this pattern taking over a month to create. There's a high probability we could be going down a lot lower because we've got go back to that cash market. Now we've got all the gaps on the downside because we've filled this gap. Now we've got this one from yesterday, this one, and this one at the bottom here. So gaps need to be filled, so that gives us more reason for this to come down lower. It may even just come down, just take out these lows and then be off. So, but either way, we need to look for a place to get short. So if I go into a smaller time frame, go to a 15-minute. So what I'm going to do now is, because I believe in these patterns, obviously. So once we've had a spike up and a spike down, which is a good sign of a top as well. I know Mr. Powell was in there talking about how things were going to be good and not going to be in a recession and all that sort of carry on. But if you look back at October 2007, you'll find Mr. Bernanke then, who was the Fed chair. He pretty much said the same thing, and everything was fine. We got it all under control, and that was the high of the market for before we started that big sell-off that went for a year and a half through 2008 into 2009. So you always got to watch what these guys say because they don't always tell the truth. They want to try and paint a rosy picture so no one gets too excited and sells the whole lot. So this is why I just look at patterns and don't bother listening to what these guys say. Yeah, so anyway, enough about that. How are we going to get into this? So what I'm going to do now is, I've already got my order in. I'm going to sell that first 382, because if you get a change in trend like that, then what you want to do is sell the first 382, and then look for it to go lower. So as it's setting up now, go down to a smaller time frame. So as we're setting up now, this could be an ABCD up into it. We look at this low up to there, down to here, and that's going to give us that ABCD Gartley pattern right into the 382. So if this thing's going to work, that's where it's going to work from. Need to have the stop up above the 61.8%. So I have an order in at 40.21, and I'm going to have my stop at probably 40.33. So 12-point stop on that, because if it gets up through here and keeps going higher, then there's a chance that, go back to 15-minute, there's a chance that that's not the top, and we might have one more run up towards 40.65 to 40.80 or even 40.90 with the 382 is from the all-time high. So yeah, as it stands, we need to be looking for a short here, stop around the 70 or even a bit higher if you wanted to, give it 15 points. Don't load the boat on it, because if it's wrong, we'll go through and we'll look for something up here. But if it's right, we're likely to get quite a decent move down, and then we can do the same thing again, sell that first pullback. The other ways this could play out is if it's going to be bullish. If we're looking at a bullish option, we could be looking at, get rid of this stuff. So this is just saying we're going to have a pullback. So we come back down to the 50-60% area here. This would be the bullish option. Well, really bullish would be just to here. Back down to 3,900. If it's slow and we get something like this, down to 3,900 or even 3,880 would be a good place. A pattern like that, then we'll probably need to change it and look for a long trade and assume that this is going to be some sort of major low. So that's how this can play out. And also, like I said, we could get one more high in here and then come down. So that's your bearish option and bullish option for that. The other one is, so because we've got this planetary event this weekend as well, maybe something happens over the weekend and we get a gap down on Monday, then we definitely want to be in it. So, but seeing how it goes over the next 2 days, so if we do get a nice sharp drop here, so tonight it sort of drops down quite quickly, and then we get a shallow move back towards a 382, 50%, something like that, then that'll be another place to get into it over the next couple of days. Yeah, that's pretty much all the options I'm looking at with the S&P. So looking for that 382 now, and then selling off from there. So just run through these other ones quickly because they're all very similar. The Dow had just come up a couple of points short of that ABCD as well that I was talking about yesterday. The S&P and Dow didn't finish their patterns. Now they have, so we've got that ABCD in here as well to finish. I think I was showing you that 3-drive pattern yesterday, which was this one, up to there, down to there, and up to here. Easier to show just as an ABCD. So just ABCD up into there. And that was that. So same thing there with the Dow. If you want to play the Dow instead of the S&P, looking for that same setup. Yeah, exactly the same here, looking for that 382. So that would be 32.2. I'd go on that, 32,200, and I'd have my stop, give it 100 points. Yeah, and this would give us that setup there as well. Exactly the same as the S&P. So whatever your favorite poison is, that would take you to there. But if for some reason this just keeps going down here and you miss this entry, then you just move this down to the next one. So it comes down to 32.1. So we get a like a 3-drive pattern down into 32.1. Oh, that was the wrong way. Get rid of that. So we don't get up here to that 32.2. We look for another option would be 3-drive like this. Down into, where's that, 1.618's down there. That's from that one, so you'd be looking around, yeah, around that 32.1. I would say there. That would be the other option. Watch for it to come in here, then get that pullback, same thing. Look for that, down into that 32.1. Then you'd be looking for this ABCD.
and selling in that area there. That would still give you that roughly that 32,200 area. 32,180 to 32,220. Same thing, 100 points. So that's the way to look at the Dow. If it breaks this low here, be looking for somewhere down here. Yeah. So that one, go to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's the same, although what it did instead of was the Dow and the S&P, it's already completed its pattern over here. What it did, it went up and just took out that high just by a couple of points. And now that started to fall away as well. So same thing there. This one's got more of a might have already got the 382. No, not quite on that one. Didn't quite get the 382. So same thing here. If this low gets taken out, you'd probably look at one more low around maybe even 12.5 and then look for the pullback. Otherwise, if this comes back up into 12.580 to 12.6, then you want to be looking for a short there. Same thing. 50-point stop loss on that one, just above the 78. See where we go. Righto, move over to Europe and we'll have a look at the DAX. So DAX has been quite ugly. So we had this really nice garly pattern in here, went a bit higher, and it's just been chopping around. So this can actually be seen as bullish. This just being a correction here. So if we just look at ABCD there, didn't quite get the ABCD, but that would have been with 382 where it stopped. Yeah, so got into that 382 there. So that gives us, so there's a chance here for the, oh, that's the wrong pattern, the ABCD. There's a chance here for the DAX to actually be bullish. This could be, some people call it a flag. Lots of different names for it. But yeah, this could just take off from here and go higher. It's set up that way, but we also have, once again on the bearish side, I think we've just finished a little Gartley that way. I'll get rid of this one. Yeah, we're in that 50 to 60% zone here. So from the high there, I've got the 50 to 60% area. The ABCD here measures up to 13,277, which we haven't quite hit, but we've hit the 50% retracement and the 1.27 extension off this area here. So that takes us, that's there. So we've hit that, we've hit the 50%, so we're in that zone to sell. And we've had a little sell-off and pull back. So, but that gives us that Gartley sell pattern there. So could be short in this one, but then if it comes back up and goes higher, goes past sort of 13.3 to definitely above 13.4, then we know that this is a bullish pattern. And we should have been long from down here somewhere. But anyway, we're looking on the short side for now. Anything else happens, we'll adjust it. If we go over to the Aussie ASX, so that's hit the Gartley as well there. Just this morning, same thing. The ABCD there, right there at 68.86, hit it to the tick. And that's in that 50 to 60% zone from that high there. So we'll be looking to have a sell in here as well too. If we go into a smaller time frame. Where are we now? Well, it's not a clear. Yeah, it's not too clear, but we're in that 50 to 60 zone. Right here. Ideally, you'd want to see a pattern like something like this. We want to see that, and that gives us the pattern. This is the just more of a straight line move, so it could keep going, or it could just fall out of bed from there as well. So if you wanted to be short, there's a place to have a look at it. We'll go from here, we'll go over to the Hang Seng, go to daily on this one. This one's quite interesting as well, because we had this major multi-year Gartley completed in March over here, but it hasn't really taken off. But it could be a 1-3-5 pattern, because we look at this low here to there, getting down. That's a 78% level there. We got to the 707 in here. If we go from that other low, got the 618 here, so you got the 618 and 786 line up here. So there's a chance that this could be extremely bullish as well. So we could come down into here, and then that could be it off. And that 1-3-5 pattern, and we're going to go a lot higher. So here's another option there. So, but then again, if it comes down, takes out this low, if the US markets sell off, and are likely to drag these ones down with them, so we get down below here and definitely below here, then we start looking at a lot lower prices. Then firstly, you'd be looking at an ABCD from this high. That would take you down to sort of down to 1600 level, which would be I think the 786. Yeah, 786 from this whole move. Go to a weekly on that one. Yeah, so if we're going all the way back to the end of the GFC crash there, back at the end of 2008, and that would take us down to that 786. So that's the levels there. Got a bullish option and a bearish option with that. So still look at the bearish side for now. If we look at the Nikkei now, just a bit of a long video, but anyway, lots to look at. So the Nikkei, if we're looking on a 4-hour here, we're looking at this possibility of the big ABCD pattern back up to 29.5 here, because we've exceeded the 70. I'll get a smaller time frame. All right, we've exceeded the 786 here. So we had that same pattern here, Gartley up into here, but we've exceeded the 78%, come back down, and we've had that one more spike higher into the 28,000 there. So there's a possibility that that could be the high. Like the US, we've had a spike up, spike down. So now that could be a major high, and we're looking for lower prices. Same thing here, entry into that would be at the 382 here. Yeah, that could be what we could get with this one. Looks like we've only got sort of 3-4 waves. There could be one more move down. That could be it, or there could be one more little move into the 382. Then we get a run down to sort of 27.5 area. And then we get that ABCD back and that sell-off. So because there's no clear pattern in this, this could just be a little retracement, and then we're going to get one more sell-off and then that pullback. So you can either have a look at it here. I'll probably do that as well. Have a look at it 382 here, put an order in, sell it. And if it comes down here, then either take profit or wait to see what happens on this side. So if it does come down here, then we'd be looking at that 382 back here. That would take us into that 27,720 through to 27,800 area. That area there would be the spot to have a look. But on the bullish side, this just keeps going higher. We take out these highs, then we're probably likely looking for that bigger ABCD pattern up at 29.5. So
lots of things to watch. Lots of levels have been hit, so we need to keep an eye on things and looking at the short side for now. And if that doesn't work, then we'll look at the long side. So yeah, a bit of a long video today, but there's a lot to get through, so that's where we are. So yeah, hope this helps. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.